Hello, I'm Harvey Godwin Jr., Chairman of the Lumbee Tribe, and today we're out here at the Lumber River State Park Wiregrass Landing, which is adjacent to White Hill Church and across the river from the Lumbee Tribe Culture Center. And we have some great news that we found out last week in a collaboration with the North Carolina Department of Administration, and I have a friend here that's become our friend to the Lumbee people in the last couple of days. And since Monday, she started digging. Today's Wednesday, and she already has some information to share with us.
Hi, my name is Mary Beth Fitz, and I'm Assistant State Archaeologist with the Office of State Archaeology. We are here assisting state parks in evaluating several archaeological sites that were previously recorded on this property. So for the past few days, we've been digging small shovel test pits systematically across the property to evaluate those archaeological sites and see what people left behind in the past and to figure out exactly what's out here. So we've dug so far probably about maybe 100, 150 holes, and we're halfway through the week. We're also excited because when we're done excavating, we're going to be having a public archaeology day on Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have exhibits, children's activities, and a couple of public talks at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. about archaeology, what we found here in the history of the wire pasture area. And we're also welcoming people to come and tell us their stories as well, and bring us, if they have any artifacts they want us to identify, we'd be happy to do that too. Some of the things we found include this chip stone spear point that's about 6,000 to 5,000 years old from the late Archaic period. And we found this down closer to the river. We've also found fragments of pottery. Again, this is maybe a little less, this would be about 2,000 years old or so, but we'll be able to study it further and maybe get a more precise date. Most of what we've been finding are these stone flakes, and these are the pieces of stone that come off when people were making the stone spear points, and so they give us an indication that there was a campsite or something to that effect. When we find lots of these pieces of flake stone, we know that people were sitting there working on their tools, using them, resharpening them, and doing obviously lots of other things. But since it was so long ago, this is primarily what we find, because stone is so durable, it lasts a long, long time.
So Mary Beth, if this was a campsite, would that mean that that would be a group passing through, or would this be a campsite within the village?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, it could be, it depends on the time period. This particular one that we found near the river, we didn't find any diagnostic artifacts, so we don't really know exactly what time period was. The pottery that we found, that's more likely to be from people who had houses in a village set up. And so this area behind us is actually a place where we found some pottery, and we'll be digging more to see if the plowing and the historic treatment of the field hasn't disrupted all of the archaeological deposits. I mean, it may be that there's remains of those houses still there.
And how deep down in the ground do you have to go to find these artifacts?
They're actually not as deep as a lot of people think, usually only about 6 inches or so, 6 to 8 inches. And depending on how plowed the soil may be, it might just be in that plowed zone. What we're hoping to find, what makes us excited is when we find things below that plowed zone, because that means they're intact and they're right where people left them.
The dig that you've done, it kind of goes away, is going away from the river now. So does that mean they moved back because of the flooding of the river, or was there another reason why they would move further back, or it was just that large of a village?
I mean, that's possible. We're seeing kind of a landscape that was inhabited at different times. So it's possible that closer to the river was people passing through thousands of years ago, and this, fast forward, much forward in time. So, and it could be, the river could have been in the same place, and it's just, they didn't mind walking that much further to go to the village. Maybe they wanted to have it further away because of flooding. They knew that periodically the water would get high, and it was better to have your house further away. But there could be other reasons too.
And 3,000 years ago, the river could have been much wider than it is now anyways, right?
Right. We have been finding evidence, and we're not geologists, but we have been finding evidence in the soils of how the river course has changed through time.
One of the things that the tribal government has picked up on is our Boys and Girls Clubs We saw an interest there, and some of our kids will be coming out the end of this week to just work with Mary Beth's team and learn about archaeology, and that their ancestors once walked this land, and seeing it for the first time. A shard that may be picked up, or a projectile that may be picked up, may be the first time it's been touched in hundreds or thousands of years. And we want to explain that to our youth and get them to get back to the land and understand that in the earth are these types of things, and that's why we have to respect the earth. Even going over to the culture center, that's part of our program. So we're excited about that, and I would like to just welcome the community, especially the Lumbee tribal membership, to come out. This is a significant opportunity and a great collaboration with the state, and it's just one of many collaborations that we're working on to help bring our history back to us, and not just to us, but to the whole world. So I encourage everyone to come out Saturday and enjoy a great day and turn it into a picnic. Bring your families, bring food, beverages, and just have a good day of it. Thank you.